everybody. So we're going to give this flipped classroom a try. That way, if you need to be out at all, you can get the notes instead of just looking at the key. You can actually see how it works. So today we're going to be on page 5 in your packet, the same packet that you got in class on Friday. If you need a copy, you can get one from class, or you can also print off copies which are in Google Classroom. All right, so we're just going to do some more practice with what we were working on Friday with the different types of angles. So let's just look at a few examples. In the accompanying diagram, line CD is parallel to EF. All right, so typically we'd see a little mark here. So CD and EF are parallel. It's telling us that. So what that means is when you have AB as your transversal, you're basically looking at two different size angles. So if the acute angles are 70, all four of them are 70, and all the obtuse would be 110 and so on. But let's throw some algebra into the mix. It says the measure of angle DGH. So again, follow the path D to G to H. That's this guy right here. Is represented by 2x. And then the measure of FHB, this guy right here, is represented by 5x minus 51. So let's look at the relationship between just those two angles. If you were to cut this right here and line up your parallel lines, these two angles would match up perfectly. So they are corresponding angles. I know it doesn't ask for that, but it will later on. So corresponding angles are congruent. Look at, they're both acute angles. There's only two size angles. They're either congruent or they add up to 180. All right, so I'm going to set them equal. 2x equals 5x minus 51. And then we'll solve. If you have a hard time solving, draw the line down from the equal sign and focus on your x's. All right, now typically we'd move the smaller one to be with the larger. But since 2x is already by itself, I'm going to actually move the 5x over. Just watch your negatives. So we'll subtract 5x from both sides. We're left with negative 3x equals negative 51. And when we divide both sides by negative 3, we get x equals positive 17. All right, now it doesn't say what to do here. Usually it'll say find x, find the angles. So why don't we find the angles? So for the two angles that are congruent, you can just plug in. 2 times 17 would give you 34 degrees. And it's always a good idea to check it in the other one too to make sure you got the same thing so you know your answer is right. And 5 times 17 minus 51, if you need to, type it in the calculator. 5 times 17 minus 51. 34. All right, so all of the acute angles that you see, so the 2x, this guy, this vertical angle to it, and then these, all four of those angles are 34. And if we wanted to find the other one, you just do 180 minus 34, because again, there's only two size angles in the whole picture. If it's an obtuse angle, it's 146. If it's an acute angle, it is 34. Okay, let's move on. The next one, we're dealing with these two angles here. They are both in between the parallel lines, so they're interior, and they are congruent. They're on alternate sides of the transversal. So these are alternate interior angles. I'm abbreviating a bit. And again, look at, they're both obtuse, they're both equal, so we set them equal. 5x minus 10 equals 4x plus 20. And then go from there. Really, all you're doing each time is asking yourself, are they equal or do they add up to 180? And make your equation based on that. All right, so I'm going to subtract the 4x to be with the 5x. You're left with 1x, or just x minus 10 equals 20. Add 10 to both sides. And we get x equals 30. All right. Pause there. Figure out what's going on with this. There's going to be a second video because this is running out of time. I need to upgrade. But we'll deal with that. All right, go ahead and try setting up the next one.